Hello, my name is Stephen Alff and welcome back to AlffBooks. Today we're doing something slightly different. We are doing a tag. I'm doing the Harry Potter spell book tag. I was tagged by Seanisnotcool to do so. Let's get down to it. Expecto Patronum, a childhood book connected to good memories. I had to think for a while, but then I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Enid Blyton's Famous Five series. When I was younger, they're the books that got me into reading. Some of the first books that I read. I know that after learning how to read with series of books to do so, the first book I read fully was The Famous Five, the first book, and it was really fun. And then I went on to read all 21 of the series. So they were cool, and that's where my reading journey pretty much started, so I have to say, good on them books. Expelliarmus, a book that took you by surprise. For this one, I thought back to the books I read last year, and the first book that jumped to mind was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Now, the reason why it took me by surprise is because it's not a genre that I would usually read in, and then I read that, and it was just, whoa, amazing. So, I mean, one of my favourite books of all time, and wasn't expecting it to be sci-fi, and I kind of got into sci-fi since then, so I mean, that's good. So yeah, that book took me by surprise. Prior Incantato, the last book you read. The last book I read was The Stolen Body by H.G. Wells. I love that short story. It was brilliant. It was very interesting. Not my favourite by H.G. Wells, but definitely I love H.G. Wells, so I mean, definitely good. Alohamora, a book that introduced you to a genre that you had never considered before. Mouse by Art Spiegelman. I thought that was a brilliant book. Now, it introduced me to two genres that I would not always consider, one more than another. So it's a graphic memoir. It really introduced me to memoirs and how memoirs can be very interesting and how they really bring a lot of information with them in history. And I believe that is brilliant, and I might sit down and read a memoir from time to time just because of that book. As well, it introduced me to graphic novels in a different way. I'm not a big graphic novel reader. I have already read some before, so I can't say I have not considered it, but it's two birds with one stone. Riddikulus, a funny book you've read. I'm not really going with a book, but more like a magazine, annual kind of thingy called The Beano. And for those who know it, you will immediately know why. It is extremely hilarious, and there's also other ones, like I think Dandy and a few others that I can't think of right now that are really hilarious and that come out pretty much every year, do they? I think they still do. Well, yeah, they're brilliant, and yeah, let's move on. Sonorus, a book that you think everyone should know about, and for this I picked The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, or the series The Kingkiller Chronicles, which is amazing, and I definitely recommend it. Those books, that author is amazing. I just, mind blown. Such a good author. And let's move to the next question. Obliviate, a book or spoiler that you would like to forget about. Yeah, not a book, but a spoiler. I read a spoiler for Legion by Veronica Roth, so I know how the book ends, and I still haven't finished it, and it's just like, oh, but why do I know what happens? Why did I read that spoiler? Imperio, a book you had to read for school. A book I had to read for school that I really enjoyed was Old Goriot by Balzac, and I really like him. He's a great French author, and the writing style is just impressive. The descriptive passages and the whole character building is beautifully done. I would recommend it for anyone who would like to read it. Now let's move on. Crucio, a book that was painful to read. Kill Clock by Alan Guthrie. It is terrible. Between curse words in pretty much every sentence, and terrible plot, and terrible character development, and so many other terrible things in a book, I don't recommend it. The only reason why I finished it is because I have a habit of finishing books, no matter what. That book. Bleh. No. Avada Kedavra, a book that you would kill, without a doubt. The next book, I would ban, destroy, burn, terminate, destroy all copies in existence and any ebook copies if there are any. So what is this book? A Very Long Engagement by Sébastien Japrisot. I absolutely detested this book. It is a book I had to read for school. It is completely and utterly depressing. In my opinion, it is just so depressing. I can't read something that depressing. It is just terrible. I had to, like, the writing style itself was not bad. The descriptive parts were not bad either. Too detailed though, especially because it's around the First World War, and you don't really need descriptive parts that are that detailed for something about the First World War. It's been years since I've read it. I might have a different impression if I were to read it now, but there's no chance that I'm picking that book up again. Okay, so that covers the tag. I have finished the 10 parts that were to it. I hope you enjoy it, and who do I tag? Let me see. I want to tag Sarah Doran, Enya's Corner, and yeah, I think, yeah, that's good, those two. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you around next time. Bye!